2014 saw the release of the long-in-development South Park: The Stick of Truth, a game that to us proved that you can make a good game based on a TV show and also live up to the lofty expectations of your fanbase.
Last week we got a hands-on with the sequel, South Park: The Fractured But Whole, which trades wizards and knights for superheroes and villains. You can subscribe to us on YouTube so you don't miss any of our gameplay clips from the session, but for now here's 5 cool things we learned about South Park: The Fractured But Whole.
And also this is for mature audiences only.
Combat is more strategic, but it can get repetitive. You'll immediately notice that combat is way more involved this time around. You'll still engage in turn-based combat with the team, and you'll need to execute well-timed button presses to unleash attacks. But it's a little more complicated than that. You're now able to move around the battlefield laterally and vertically during your turn in a fight. This is particularly important as your characters have different attacks which target specific areas of the gridded battlefield. Same goes for your foes. Some attacks will also unleash extra effects, such as knockback, which you can use to hit an extra enemy if your foes are situated just right. On top of that, this time around you can unlock 12 classes, which include Brutalist, Mystic, Cyborg, and Karate Kid. I mean, you are a superhero after all. Your choice will grant you different abilities which lend themselves to different fighting styles and team makeups. That said, Dan and I found that more often than not we gravitated toward using the same abilities in most scenarios, even though we each picked different classes, so combat does begin to feel a little repetitive, particularly when some of the townies are simply a lot more useful than others to have on your team.
It's like watching South Park. From the very beginning, The Fractured But Whole will make you laugh with signature South Park humor. In the character creator, for instance, messing with the difficulty slider changes your character's skin tone, white for easy and black for hard. It's not the real difficulty slider in the game, but it's played for laughs, and like so much of the game's comedy, at least from the 3 hours we played, even though it made us cringe, it still really works. Running into characters from the show usually triggers a cutscene that is indiscernible from an episode of South Park. Obviously, retelling the game's jokes is the worst way to experience comedy, so here's a select few moments from what we played.
Fuck you, Mom.
Hey, Tom Brady, you want to play the game, or do you just want to be known as a smug, cheating bitch the rest of your life?
Exploration is rewarding. Just like last time, the town of South Park is free for you to explore, with a bunch of brand new places to visit and people to meet and occasionally be horrified by. Inside every location, you'll find chests, cupboards, and trash cans full of crafting items that are references to the show. Seriously, if you thought there were a lot of references in the first game, it feels like the sequel is well and truly doubling down. You can use these items to craft consumables to aid you in battle, something the town's crafting master, Morgan Freeman, will teach you at his taco stand.
Congratulations, new kid. With an enchilada and a burrito, you've crafted an enchirito. That's the first time anyone's ever done that.
Finding your way into the game's nooks and crannies will also reward you with money, which you can use to buy things to wear or wield.
$20 can buy many peanuts.
Wrong show.
Oh. No TV sensors means way more f***ed up stuff. If you're not a fan of South Park's particular brand of humor, you're gonna have a bad time with Fractured But Whole, because it feels like everything has been dialed up to 11. Here's what I mean. After a short prologue that recaps the Stick of Truth while setting up the sequel's stakes, you, as the new kid, must find a way into Cartman's basement, aka the Coon's Lair. After unsuccessfully trying to hack my way in using phrases like "shart my donkey balls" and "you pee my balls donkey," I eventually made my way upstairs and found his Trapper Keeper. Inside was the correct password, "F you mum," as well as several extremely graphic homoerotic drawings of Kyle. Now you know why we said this video was for mature audiences. Later on in the demo, a section found us locked in the back room of the South Park church and attacked by pedophilic priests with a fetish for self-flagellation and anal beads. Ubisoft certainly don't seem to have put any restraints on letting South Park creators Trey Parker and Matt Stone do what they do best. So it's probably safe to say the rest of the game will likely feature a lot more of these moments.
It's still embracing being an RPG. Something that really excites me about the South Park game is how much the developers seem to care about making sure this isn't just a good South Park game, but a fully realized RPG. Given the addition of classes and crafting, as well as your expansive inventory and equipment screens, The Fractured But Whole looks to be an even deeper RPG than the first game. There are a ton of mainline quests and side quests to keep you busy, and the world is littered with collectibles and puzzles. From fetch quests that require you to collect X amount of a certain item, to time-specific events that require you to return at a particular time of the day. There's a wide variety of stuff to get involved in, and it's all been soaked in South Park flavor. We actually played way past our allotted time session for this preview, and I can say, like, for what we've played so far, we really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Can't speak to the entire game just yet, but if it's anything like the demo, I think we're in for a treat.
There's something else that I think is worth noting is that while it has a lot of vulgar humor and really pushing the envelope with its jokes, it also perfectly captures the imagination of a kid playing superheroes, and that's something that South Park has always done so well.
Yeah, fingers crossed by the end of this one we'll be saying, I think we learned something today. But do leave us your comments in the comment section. Let us know what you think of this one, and stay tuned to GameSpot for everything gaming.
Thanks for watching.
A warm tortilla wrapped around, well, any old something. Here, I'll give you what you need to get started. This here shows how much food you need to fill up that tortilla. Now to just put it all together.